I came here to heal, I came here to grow. Lesson in love, they helped me let go. I chose this path, I chose this time. Everything I need, I hold inside. I came here to heal, I came here to grow. Lesson in love, they helped me let go. I chose this path, I chose this time. Everything I need, I hold inside. Welcome and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Me, the Art of Starting Again. With me, Tisha Michelle, your host. All right, so there's this new trend on TikTok. Don't know if you heard it or not, but it's called the Great Lock-In. The concept is simple, but yet powerful. It's like you pick one area of your life and you just lock in. And you're locking in from September 1st through December 31st. So that's 4 solid months. And science tells us it takes anywhere, I want to say they say about 66 days to form a habit. So that gives you more than enough time to shift something in your life in a way that truly sticks, right? But I know, let's be real. What if your whole life feels messy? What if that messy middle feels like everything? So how do you even choose what to focus on when it seems like everything needs attention? Trust me, I get it. Because when everything feels scattered, it's easy to either freeze up and do absolutely nothing or try to change everything at once and end up overwhelmed doing absolutely nothing. Trust me, unfortunately, I know that oh too well. So here's the truth. Discipline itself can be your first lock-in. And I don't mean discipline in a harsh, punishing way, but discipline in the sense of building consistency through small, repeatable actions. Like even tiny steps when practiced every single day create habits, and habits create transformation. So if you haven't read this book before, I highly suggest you read the book called The Slight Edge, and it's by Jeff Olson. And basically it's turning simple discipline into massive success, but a really like easy book to follow because it's so practical and like his experience. And just trust me, get the book, The Slight Edge. All right, so okay, so for the next 4 months, locking in doesn't mean like reinventing your entire life overnight. It means choosing one lane and then staying faithful to it. So let's chat real quick about why this actually works. So science calls it neuroplasticity. I always got to break that down. And that's the brain's ability to just rewire itself. So every time you repeat an action, thought, or behavior, you strengthen the pathway in your brain. And here's the kicker: your subconscious mind, and if you listen to episodes before, the one before this, it's the deepest and most powerful part of yourself. It doesn't argue with repetition. It doesn't decide whether it's good or bad. It just accepts it as truth. And that's why locking in is so powerful, because you're really training your inner world to match the future that you want to create. So now let's talk about the why. Yes, it's a TikTok trend. You know, TikTok love a trend. But underneath it is a bigger question. Are you where you really want to be? Or do you feel like you are living in alignment with the destiny you know belongs to you? Maybe you want better health or more financial stability. Maybe it's a new career or even a deeper sense of purpose. There's that P word, purpose. Whatever it is, the great lock in is really just an invitation to stop drifting and actually start deciding. And here's how I like to think about it. So we're all out here playing characters in life. At different times, we've worn the costume of a student, employee, nurse, business owner, parent, manager, creator. Each of those is a role that we stepped into. But locking in is about asking, who am I intentionally becoming now? Like, who do I want to be 4 months from today? And here's where resistance shows up. And some of you may be thinking, I've tried before and it didn't stick, or I didn't stick with it. And I don't want you to look at it like failure, because that's not failure. That's your subconscious mind doing what it does best, trying to keep you safe by pulling you back into the familiar. So when you hit resistance Instead of asking, why can't I stick with it? I want you to try reframing it to this. This is my old programming trying to hold on. That shift allows you to see the pushback as a sign that you're actually moving in the right direction. And let me give you some examples. So let's say you lock in on finances. Don't just say, I want more money. That's way too vague. You need to get specific. Do you want to increase your savings by a certain amount? Do you want to pay off debt? Do you want to generate 10K in your business? Like once you decide, the question becomes, what skills, what gifts, what strategies can you consistently practice for the next 4 months to make that actually happen? And here's why being specific matters. When we say something vague, like, what do we say? Like, I want more money. The subconscious mind doesn't know what to do with it. The subconscious works best with clear, specific instructions. And I want you to think of it like a GPS. If you just say, hey, GPS, take me somewhere nice, it can't map a route. But if you put in an exact address, it knows exactly how to guide you there. And the same is true with your goals. The clearer you are, the easier it is for your subconscious mind to recognize opportunities, start to form habits, and create alignment with that outcome. Like if you say, I want to lose weight, try reframing it as, I want to release 30 pounds. Release, because subconsciously when we say loss or lose, the mind wants to go back and find it. But release means it's gone. It ain't coming back. I don't even want you. That's why I released you. Right? Or maybe your lock in is gaining 15 pounds of muscle, or simply building a routine of movement or nourishment that just feels good in your body. Identity is key. So your subconscious mind locks onto identity faster than action. So instead, say, I'm trying to exercise. You declare, I am someone who moves my body daily. Because when you identify with the action, your subconscious mind begins to organize your behavior around proving that identity true. So for some of you, it might be a career. Maybe you've been sitting on the idea of making a switch. Well, in 4 months, you could complete a certification, finish a class, or set yourself up to step into a brand new path. And I know someone like that I went to school with, and she posted just recently. And if you're listening to this podcast, I'm talking about you. No, so she posted that she wanted a career switch, and she made the decision, and it took her 95 days, and that was from start to being licensed, and she became um a real estate agent. And I thought that was dope, and it's just a great way when you lock in. She made the decision that she wanted to become a real estate agent. And then she didn't say, "Oh, I want to get into real estate." Well, what is the subconscious going to do with that? What does that mean? There's so many different things you can do in real estate. So how am I supposed to get you there if I'm not even really sure where that actually is? It's just something vague. But you say, like, I want to get into real estate and I'm looking to become a real estate agent. Boom. Now we could lock in. Okay, so now you can do the research. What are the steps to become an agent? And you start that process. Okay, and after I've taken the class, then what? Oh, you take a test for the class. After that, then you go take the state test. You pass that. You submit your paperwork. You find a broker, right? So now it gives you that. So even when you're sitting there saying like, "Oh, I need a broker," right? Once you lock in and you're focused on it, brokers are going to come to you, meaning like you can be talking to someone and you're vibing with them, and all come to find out they're a broker. And you're like, wait, what? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to be licensed pretty soon. And I was just saying, like, I need to connect with someone because it's already laser focus. And then here comes God coming in and matching that energy you putting into that because you decided to make a change. Boom. It's going to put you in contact with brokers because you know that is what something that is needed, right? So again, when you identify with what the action is, your subconscious mind begins to organize your behavior around proving that identity to be true. Real estate agent, right? So all these things start um basically swirling around you. So yeah, and for those of you thinking, yes, it can even be relationships. Maybe the lock in is around building more intentional connections, or whether that's romantic, family, or friendships. And that could look like weekly date nights, regular check-ins, or even learning to like set healthy boundaries. And if you're talking with your partner and you both are about to go on this lock-in run and y'all are on the same page in that, when we're setting boundaries, it doesn't seem so like aggressive. It's like healthy boundaries, which means part of this lock-in is we're going to connect. We're going to really listen to each other. We're going to actually schedule out time to go on dates. Yes, it's great to have that spontaneous in there, but it's also great if you schedule things and now you have something else to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, oh, we have to schedule time with each other. That's crazy. But the thing is the way life, maybe set up with jobs and other obligations and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? When you schedule that time with each other, not only do you have something to look forward to, it's also giving you that ability to disconnect from everything else. The only thing matters is the time that we're spending with each other right now. That's what matters. So who cares if that's only once a week? This is once a week where we fully get each other. Like there is no talking about bills and kids and job you don't like and all of that stuff. This is just us. We could just be free. We could talk about anything. We could talk about the things that we enjoyed talking about when we first got together. Y'all feel me? Yeah. Anyway, so now let's break this into micro and macro lock-ins, right? So a macro lock-in is big. Macro is big. It's like finishing a certification, switching careers, or paying off a large debt. And then we have the micro lock-ins. They matter too. So the micro could be committing to 10 minutes of meditation every morning, drinking more water, or writing down one thing that you're grateful for each night. And both count because both train your brain to trust your consistency. And that is a thing, the consistency, right? Trust it. So here's a challenge that I want to leave you with. Pick one area, not five, guys, not five, and not everything, just one. All right. So we're going to pick one, not five, not everything, just one. And then we're going to lock in from now until the end of the year. Oh, yeah, this is another thing that I meant to say. Just because September 1st already happened is not an excuse. Like, it's not an excuse to be like, oh, well, I already missed a couple of days. Stop it. Stop it. There's nothing special about September 1st to December 31st. It just happens to be right, but this the last quarter. And this is where we're rocking with, because it could have been the beginning of the year. It doesn't matter. Your first can be September 6th. It doesn't matter. It's just we're going to take the 4 months from the time that you stop. And also don't feel or think like you're behind or anything because it's a couple of days. And I pushed this episode up also above some other ones because I didn't want to start it too late into the 4 months. Okay. All right. So but I want you to write it down, and then you're going to decide what your daily, or it could be weekly, actions will be. And remember, it doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be consistent. Okay? It has to be consistent. So this great lock-in, somebody said, oh, that's just 75 hard rearranged, something like that. But yeah, it is. It's just going on. Some people say, oh, I'm about to go on a run, I'm about to go on a 4-month run. It's just that TikTok right now wants to call it the great lock-in. So you have a name to it. You have a name to it, right? And it's about proving to yourself that with focus, discipline, and intention, you can shift your identity, you can shift your habits, which is ultimately your life, right? So let's go ahead and start to close this out with this. I want you to take a moment to visualize. And if you're driving and you operating some heavy machinery, just stop. Put me on pause and come back or put that thing on pause and then listen. All right, okay, no, seriously. Okay, I want you to imagine yourself on December 31st, 2025. I want you to picture the version of you, that version that locked in and stayed consistent. I want you to see them in your mind. What do they look like? Like, do you notice something different about the energy? What about their confidence? What do you know? Are you feeling their life? Like, take it all in. And I want you to let yourself feel that in your body now. You might even be smiling a little bit. You might even be feeling a little nervous, but it's a good nervous. It's like, wow, finally, like, wait, I really am her? I really am him? So let yourself feel that into your body, because that version of you already exists. You're just choosing to step into them now. So ask yourself right now, what area of your life are you ready to lock in on? And then I want you to commit. Because 4 months from now, you're going to thank yourself for the decision that you made. Because what you don't want to happen is you to go, you after you listen to this, or even if beforehand, and you seen some people posting their stuff on TikTok, and especially like the people who they had a big thing, like a big weight a weight release that they wanted to have, or they talked about discipline, whatever it was, they did a video and you can see them and you can hear them, and this is what this is. And then December 31st, you just scrolling away on TikTok and you start to see some of those people that you seen in the video, and you looking at them, and for the ones with the outer transformation, and you said, wait, what? There's no way this is that person that posted 4 months ago. And then the mirror is being held up to you and is showing you what you didn't do, the commitments that you didn't stick with, and that you are still the same version that you were 4 months ago. And now you feel like you was just competing with all these people. And if you are someone who's comparing yourself, you really gonna struggle. I'm sorry, y'all, because you're gonna see all these people, and the mirror is gonna be held up, and it's gonna remind you that you weren't consistent, that you didn't make a decision, or that you didn't feel like you were worthy of a better version of yourself, or you allowed, life to take over in a way that just made you feel like this is all there is to life. Whatever it may be, you may spiral, from that, in this sense. And even if that was to happen, that's not going to happen with you guys, because all of y'all that are listening and decide to lock in, yeah, I already see y'all are already there. I already see it. But either way, I still want you guys to make sure that you are loving on yourself. Like, no matter what version and what character that you are, I still want you to express that level of love with yourself, because I truly believe that love is the foundation to all. The self-love, the love for others, being of service, trusting in God, like all of that foundation is love. So no matter what season you are in now, and no matter what season 6 months from now, I always want you to bring it back to love is the foundation of all. So I'm not going to be so hard on myself and talk super negative and push myself even further away from changing my life. I'm going to still love on myself, because I am worthy no matter what season of life that I'm in. And listen, if you've been listening to this and you are ready to lock in, but you need some guidance, or if you're tired of trying to figure it out on your own and you want support creating like real change, the change that actually sticks. I kind of feel like I came out of retirement. I opened my calendar back up, and I'm back offering
intro to breakthrough sessions. And this is where we use the power of like hypnosis and the subconscious reprogramming that I've been talking about on these episodes to clear out old patterns and create space for the new identity that you're stepping into. So, if that resonates with you, just go ahead, go to my website, tishamichelleofficial.com, and you can book a session. I offer a couple of different things, but in connection to what we're talking about right now, if this is what's kicking in, I would book the one that says intro, I believe it says intro to breakthrough session. I would definitely start there, and we can hop on the phone and have a chat. But yeah, I love to support you in any way possible. And I'm so grateful and appreciative that you took 20 something minutes out of your life to sit here and listen to me. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Until next time, bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Rebuilding Me, the sacred art of starting again. If this episode spoke to your soul, be sure to subscribe, leave me a review, and most importantly, share it with someone who's on their own journey of remembering who they are. And just know, you're not alone, and you never have to start from scratch. You're starting again, but this time with wisdom. Until next time, stay open, stay grounded, and trust your rebuild. And if you need help navigating this journey, make sure to visit www.tishamichelleofficial.com and book a sacred reset session.